Sorry for my production quality. However, like I said, a felony is anything over 1 year or over a $1,000 fine. There are exceptions state to state, but that's the general rule of thumb. Moving on to probable cause for a search warrant. Understand that you must, per the Constitution, be able to identify the place to be searched, and you must be specific. You cannot say 1921 Jones Street. You must say 1921 Jones Street, a gray and brown structure, single family dwelling facing northeast. Name the plot if you can. Anything you can use to specifically describe the location to be searched. And you must specifically describe those items to be seized. I put out a supplemental on the website or on our class site pointing out that you cannot just say, I am searching for drugs. You must be specific in those items to be searched for and those items to be seized. Now, there's exceptions. If you're searching for computer microchips, obviously you can search anywhere in the house, top to bottom, any little nook or cranny where a computer microchip can be hidden. Now, if you go in and you open a drawer in the garage and there's stolen vehicle parts, guess what? They're good. However, if you're looking for stolen engines and you go rifling through drawers in the subject's bedroom, you can't hide an engine in a small drawer. So you would have exceeded the scope of that search. So it's all about specificity. Again, you must have probable cause. You must have a reasonable belief that a crime has been committed and that the fruits of those crimes are located at that targeted location. We talked about the exceptions to those. Exigent circumstances. Obviously, if someone's life is in danger and you must act to prevent it, and in the process of doing that, you found further contraband or further evidence of violation of laws, the courts have said, there was no choice. The inevitable discovery. In other words, if you were going to a location, you were going to be on that porch and they had their dope plants or whatever, or their stolen guns sitting on the porch, you were going to find them anyway. You didn't need a search warrant. And also the plain view doctrine would apply. The courts are often, as long as it's a good faith action on the part of law enforcement, they'll give you a little latitude, but they will not accept subterfuge, playing games and wording certain affidavits to allow a fishing expedition. Okay, preliminary hearings and initial appearances. The courts have held that we can't just hold you indefinitely without cause. So they have mandated that a defendant gets before the court in a reasonable amount of time without unnecessary delay. There are rulings out there that have interpreted unnecessary delay. We used to lock bad guys up on a Friday just so they could sit in jail all weekend. Courts came back, saw what we were doing, ultimately came back and said no, without unnecessary delay means then you get a judge to look at the paperwork over the weekend if someone gets locked up, or you get them in front of a judge as soon as possible. That is merely to determine that there was a lawful arrest based upon probable cause. Then the additional hearings will come. There can be probable cause hearings and motions hearings and what have you later, bond hearings, or they can be granted bond immediately. But that's just the first step of the court process. No charges had formally been filed because, as you remember, we need an indictment or a complaint.